she now doesn't have anything to do on the weekends. Finally, for the first time since last year. So you are all set. Everything's good. Of course. Oh, it's good to see you. First time.
I know. It's good to see you too. And
Yeah, for sure.
Hi. I love that you drive that van like it's a sports car. Wait, did you carpet it? It's
Good to
just
see you.
perfect.
I do. I've been loving your espressos. It was broken now.
I know.
It stopped working.
no, it didn't stop working. It was broken.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Oh, wait, broken.
But
So they don't understand what happened when they saw it. They were like, how did it go in the box like that? So that they've never had that happen. My daughter was very disappointed.
we appreciate it either way.
So it'll get here.
Oh, that's perfect.
Hi.
Bye.
Good. Welcome back. Thank you. Guess what? I'm gonna be on hand. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy for you. Yep, she's almost, actually, she's gonna be 8 weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really happy
Yeah,
for you.
I know. It was tough. It was tough, but yeah. She's like, I don't know what the name's gonna be. And I said, I'm picking the name. I know. I was just praying so hard. It was a long journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's going good. She's had a few ultrasounds. They've seen the heartbeat. Everything was normal. So yeah. She called me. She was like on a speakerphone during the ultrasound, and so I could hear the doctor. And the doctor's like, "Hello." She's like talking to me through the speakerphone and stuff. And then she goes, "Mom, did you hear that?" And I go, "Was that a heartbeat?" She goes, "Well, it wasn't your daughter's because your daughter doesn't go beat that fast."
Right.
You know. She goes, "No, that's definitely a heartbeat." And
Very
I was like,
nice.
and I started crying. I was like, "Yay!" I went,
Oh,
"Yes."
I'm crying.
So yeah, it's been very emotional. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, my daughter update.
yes.
3 eggs are fertile. One's a boy, one's a girl. The third one is unknown yet, so they're waiting. She was devastated
That's
by the
awesome.
first disappointment.
Yeah.
So she wants to harvest one more time, and she wants to, she just wants that assurance.
Yeah.
right? But now that she knows that Gabe is fertile, yes, she can relax a little bit
Yeah.
more. So I said,
that's the main thing.
are you going to do twins? She goes, well, I don't know. And I said, well, you're the one. I said, these eggs can split either way because you're the one in line for twins. And I said, are you going to do boy first or girl first? You're going to do boy and girl? What are you going to do? And she's like, Mom. And I said, yes, honey, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. I'm terrible.
Exactly.
So we are on the right path. We are where you were
Awesome.
once removed,
Yeah.
So just
yes.
like this, yes.
It's gonna happen.
I try
just
not to call her too much.
I kept telling my daughter, I go, I feel different about it this time.
Yeah,
You know?
I do too.
I feel different about it. I'm more relaxed about it and stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm
it's
not
cool,
anxious
it's gonna
now.
yeah. And she was still nervous, but I stayed with her through the whole thing to keep her calm. We did yoga, we did
That's
meditation,
perfect. That's perfect.
we did everything we could to keep her nerves down and keep her calm because I told her, I said, stressing out is going to change your hormones.
Yep.
So, and I think that's what happened the first time, is being too stressed out over it. And so I just did everything I could. We meditated every morning, we did yoga.
Very nice.
Everything, yeah. Went for walks, just to,
It's
Stay grounded.
yeah.
It's very interesting because one of her girlfriends is a dancer and she's pregnant. And she goes, my body's changing, my hormones, my hair's growing, my nails are all over the place. And she's starting to talk about, and she said she's just like a mess because she thinks that nothing's ever going to be the same. Little does she know nothing's ever going to be the same. So I said, Anna Rose, you understand that this is every pregnancy has this. This isn't just a person in an individual situation. She goes, you're right. And it was like, that was a big
Yeah.
deal. This everybody
Yeah.
who's going through this will have these kinds of things, which helps settle her down.
Exactly.
That was the point. It was to help
Yeah.
settle her down. So, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cool. We're gonna have these baby pictures everywhere.
We're gonna celebrate together. Watch.
We will.
Ah.
We will. We'll have a celebration.
Oh my gosh. You lead the way. Ah, fantastic.
She was even asking, she goes, can you ask them at the yoga studio? Because she really liked some of the yoga that we did. She goes, is there any like prenatal yoga I can do?
Oh, yes.
And I was like,
Yes.
I think there is. I go, I don't know, but maybe we can look it up or something. I go,
Yeah.
or maybe they can point you in the right direction or.
Somebody here was doing some prenatal stuff.
Just down the road, there's the chiropractor across from that, the new restaurant. What's the name of that restaurant? Milk Stand Restaurant,
Oh, yeah.
right across from there. They specialize in pre-baby care for mom and baby. So I got their telephone numbers, or you can just drive by. It's
Yeah.
right here on the building.
Yeah, let
They're
me
very
ask,
good.
Cause she was liking the yoga and stuff, you know, and that's when she got hooked on it because she hadn't tried it before until I said, come on, we're gonna do some yoga together, you need to
Yeah.
relax. And, so I used a lot of the stuff that I learned from you with her, and so she really liked it. So then she's like, I'm gonna get really big. Is there any like prenatal yoga for when we get
Yeah,
bigger
there
and we're
is,
not
and
hurting
there's-
ourselves?
So
And,
there's also some really nice restorative yoga poses for pregnancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That are-
I'm gonna have to look that up for her.
Yeah,
And
and,
she-
and I'll bring some.
Awesome, thank you.
Lovely.
Alright. Hello everyone online.
Hi everyone, here we are talking
Talking
babies.
about babies.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's
I
wonderful.
already have a name picked out for him and everything.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not telling you the name until I hear a heartbeat, and then I heard the heartbeat, and I go, hi, Declan. And she's like, Declan. I'll put that on the list.
Okay. And watch it rise.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
It's very
Very
Irish.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that name too.
That's it. Grandma's got your number, Declan. We're done.
She goes, I'll put it on the list. I'll think about it.
Ah.
Okay.
How are you doing?
She goes, you have to realize this might be my one and only chance of ever being able to name a child. And I said, I know. I don't want to take that from you.
Right.
Maybe it could be a middle name.
Maybe it could be, baby number 2. Whatever. So Gabe is so happy to know that he is a fertile person because he's always had tremendous trouble. His whole lower extremities are messed up one way or the other. They're connected where they shouldn't be and not connected where they should be.
Oh no.
Alright.
All different kinds of loop-de-loops. So he's just delighted.
That's good.
Yeah, it's very nice. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, good news all around.
Alright. We will get started here in
Yes.
20 seconds. Oh,
The tomatoes are beautiful outside. Are you going to stake them up?
yeah, I think Mar has some cages she was gonna bring
Very
down.
good.
Yeah, 'cause they're growing like crazy,
So
aren't
Mine
they?
I
are
want to
too.
tell you, I have plucked the little suckers
Oh,
out
please
already
do.
because you want a really strong stem if you're going to make them.
Well, yeah, maybe you can show me, 'cause I know you're supposed to do that, but I didn't know what you were supposed to do.
Very good. Yes, I'm happy to show.
Great.
Very good.
Perfect, thank you.
Mine are growing like crazy too.
That's great.
All right, we can get started.
Ah.
All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. And to you that are joining us live online, welcome as well to Monday morning yoga here at Yoga Farm. My name's Pennee, and I will be your guide this morning as we go through our flow. I know I need a little wake up here. It's kind of a dreary
It's
upstate.
a cool day. I have a jacket with me.
I know my husband and I were kind of laughing this weekend. We're like, because it was Cornell alumni weekend,
Yeah.
and we're like, they're probably going, yup, this is the Ithaca we know and love, right?
Is it raining? Yes. No. Yes.
Exactly. So it was one of those weekends, but it was a good weekend to get things done. All right, so this morning, last week we kind of did some upper body stuff and with a no weight on our shoulder thing. And this morning we will do they're called hip openers. You know, our hips are amazing parts of our bodies, and we store a lot of tension there. Our hips react to sitting so much, they react to even a strenuous exercise, or even if our shoes are a little worn and our hips are a little off, our hips react to all of that. And it can show up in our, good morning, in our backs, in our shoulders, in our ankles. Our hips are also a place that we can store a lot of emotional things. And so when we think of all that can go on down in our hips, in our pelvis, this flow today is really when you think about hip openers, to me, it's more about looking at the asanas that not so much open the hips, but really look at how we can stabilize and how we can increase our range of motion in the hips. And make things more easeful. So most yoga poses certainly involve the hips and the hip muscles. But today we'll focus on some that really target that area. And as always, if anything feels uncomfortable, please back off from it. Please follow your own body's wisdom in terms of how deep to go in, how long to hold a pose, and when to come out. Really trust that. Trust that for yourself. So, the other thing too, as we go through and as the body starts to relax and release tension, sometimes that releases emotions as well. And so, emotions can come up as tears, as giggling. And if that happens, I would just invite you to just let it flow and just let it pass through. You're in a safe space right here. So, good morning. So, if you like to have props, please gather any props that you like to have near, if that's blocks, blanket, bolsters, whatever. And we'll start seated, so find yourself in a nice, comfortable seated position, whatever that is, on the knees, on a bolster, on a blanket. Legs can be crossed. Legs can also be extended in front. Sometimes just having your legs in front of you is much more comfortable than having them crossed. Let's just start by arriving this Monday morning, off the weekend, coming in to start the week, start the day. Just take a nice inhale. If the nose is open, let the inhale come in through the nose. And a nice long exhale out. Excuse me. Feel where you're connected to your mat. Notice how the mat is supporting you. And just taking a little body inventory here, starting at the top of your head, softening the forehead, Relaxing your jaw. Sometimes we hold so much tension in our jaws, and just by relaxing it, it's a reminder to release other tension in our body. Let the shoulders release and relax. Let the torso have a nice exhale. And notice in the hips where there might be some tension holding, some contractions. And take another nice inhale, and as you inhale this time, let the breath move down deeper into that lower belly, into that lower diaphragm. And let the exhale be long and full and complete. And welcome yourself. Welcome yourself to your mat this morning. Before we move into the actual poses, we'll do a breath work, and we'll do a 4 square breath this morning. So the 4 square breath consists of inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding that out for 4. I'll count the first few rounds for us, and then I'll let you do a few rounds on your own, so then you can sync your own breath with your counting. So we'll begin by just taking a natural inhale in. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Relax the shoulders. And as you inhale this time, we'll inhale to 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Now continue with your own rhythm, with your breath. Your breaths may be longer or shorter than mine, and that's okay. The exhales be full and complete. Hold out for 4. Inhale for 4. The hold for 4. The exhale for 4. And hold out for 4. With each exhale, let stress, let the to-do list go. Feeling yourself coming in and grounding, connected here on your mat. And on the next exhale, let the breath return to its natural rhythm. And on the next inhale, we'll bring that torso forward. And on the exhale, let the body start to move to the side and to the back as the torso starts to make some circles this morning. Now this movement can be small, it can be large, whatever feels comfortable this morning. Starting to connect the movements with the breath. The inhale brings you forward. The exhale takes you around to the side and to the back. The next next inhale reverses the direction. Just warming up the hips, the lower back. Feeling the sits bones nicely connected to the floor. And the circles start to become smaller and smaller, finding your way back to center. And as you inhale, let the chin lift slightly. And on the exhale, let the chin come to the chest. Now, as you inhale, that heart space opens, the chin lifts slightly, and the exhale brings the chin back to the chest. Just notice where you might feel sensations here. Shoulders are relaxed. Being gentle with the neck, so as the gaze looks up, we really don't want to really crank the back of the neck. We really want to lift up through the head and the neck. Now on the next inhale, you come back to center. The exhale releases the chin to the chest. The inhale takes the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. We'll just move through this with your breath. Again, always being gentle with that neck. Just getting things going, warming up. The head comes back to center. And on the inhale, the shoulders will reach up towards the ears, and the exhale lets the shoulder blades slide down the back. Inhale, the shoulders lift, and the exhale releases them down. And I'll do that one more time. Release down. Now we'll take an inhale and bring those hands up overhead. And on the exhale, we'll let the right arm come behind us. That left hand comes to the right knee. The breath lengthens the spine. And the exhale lets us look over that shoulder. Bless you. Inhale brings us back up overhead. Exhale to the other side. Those fingers content in the back. And again, as you inhale, imagining the spine growing taller. And on the exhale, looking over that left shoulder. Hands come up overhead. Exhale, releases them down. Take a nice breath, lift the shoulders, and on the exhale, just let the shoulders drop. And from here, we'll come to tabletop position. So hands and knees. If you'd like to bring a blanket to put under those knees, feel free to do that. So hands come right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. And as you inhale, open the heart space, the belly button reaches towards the floor. And on the exhale, pull that belly button up towards the spine, chin comes to chest, pushing up through the palms. Inhale, back to cow, opening. And exhaling into cat. Finding your rhythm here, your breath. Let your breath guide your movements. Feeling where you're connected here to your mat, the palms of your hands, your knees. Notice, maybe it's the tops of your feet, maybe it's your toes. Letting yourself be fully present. Now coming back to neutral position, let the hips move from side to side. Maybe making some circles on the knees. Letting the hips circle. Just checking in with your body here. What feels instinctive here? What is your body looking for this morning? Where's your body tight? Where is it loose? Where is it relaxed? Now back to that neutral position, we'll bring one knee forward and we'll put that foot on the floor. We'll bring the other knee forward, bringing the other foot down. With our knees bent, we'll come into this forward fold. Hands can be on blocks, hands can be on the ankles, on the shins, hands can be on opposite elbows. Just really looking for the hamstrings here and the hips. Getting some strength in our thighs and our knees. Now bending the knees even more as you inhale, start a slow roll up to standing. You can walk the hands up the legs. Let that head come up last. And then the arms lift overhead. And on the exhale, palms come together in front of heart space. And just take a moment here, pause. Feeling how you've transitioned from hands and knees to standing. Feeling the feet connected to the mat, right under the hips. And now we'll take an inhale, and we'll let those hands come back overhead. And on the exhale, we'll bring that right arm down. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, left arm comes down. Now as you inhale, let the hands come in, meet in the center, and on the exhale, palm faces up, palm faces down. And inhale, hands slide. Now as you move through this a couple of times, you might notice that that back hand maybe reaches a little bit behind the hips. And just notice how this is a little bit different from that side to side. Once again, we're not going past any points of discomfort. We're just letting the body warm up. Now this time we'll let the hands come in, both hands come up. And on the exhale, have a little bit of a bend to the right. Now strengthen that or pull that core in as you pull back to center and exhale to the other side. Inhale back. Exhale, release the hands down. All right, we'll bring those feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. And we'll really anchor from the waist down here. So from the waist down, we're nice and solid. And we'll start a little bit of a twist here from the waist up. And as the torso starts to move, the arms start to swing. Let the hands make contact with the body, maybe on the hips, maybe the lower back. You can deepen this into more of a twist by lifting the heel as you move. So you can lift the heel here. Just want to be very mindful of your knees. Now let that right hand come up and tap just right above the heart space here, the lungs. Back hand could have a nice little tap on the lower back. now that top hand, that front hand can give you a nice little pat on the shoulder. And then that gentle fist. And then both hands come down to the side. Alright, so let this start to slowly come back to center. And we'll give that a little shake. We'll bring those feet back under the hips. Hands come to the lower back. We'll cock that hip out to the right, to the front, to the other side, to the back, and then we'll start to even out those edges. Just find a nice circle here. So we're keeping the head, the neck, and the spine all in alignment. So we're not bending that lower back. We're keeping everything in alignment. Again, we're just going to a comfortable edge here. Not going past any discomfort. And then we'll reverse this and go in the other direction. Bless you. Spring step. Yeah, there's a box of tissue right here by the column. All right, back to center. The hands now come to the hips, and we're just going to bring that movement into the hips. So now it's like the tailbone is drawing a circle on the floor. So we're just circling the hips here. Knees have a slight bend in them, and just let the hips circle. And then we'll do that in the other direction. Bring this back to center and give everything a little shake. All right, so now we're going to do our leg swings. So if you like to have a little something for balance, you can use a chair or the wall or a post. So we'll bring all our weight into that right leg, and we'll let that left leg just start to swing. Swing back and forth. You can use your arms for a counterbalance here. You can let that foot come down anytime. And just let that swing. Let that go. And then we'll put that foot down. We'll bring all the weight to that left foot, and we'll swing that right leg. Just let that go. Bring that down, plant those feet right underneath our hips. Once again, bring all the weight over into that left leg. We'll lift that right leg, and we'll just make some circles. So just making some circles here in one direction, and then the other. And then we'll bring that knee forward. We'll let the toes draw some circles on the mat in both directions here. Shake that out. Give those toes a nice little stretch. And then we'll bring that foot out to the side, and we'll pull it in and across. So we'll just do this a couple of times. And then we'll grab hold of that knee and just give ourselves a nice little stretch. Or just bring it across. That will work too. All right, so now we'll switch sides, plant that right leg, let that left leg start to make those circles. swing away if you feel like you need more swing time. Whoops, I'm losing my balance. So go in both directions. And then we'll bring that knee forward and draw those circles with the ankle. We'll bring those toes down, give them a little stretch. And then we'll bring that to the side and do the cross here. Yeah. And then we'll do the stretch. All right, so let's shake all that out. And then we'll bring our feet wide. Now, if you might want to use blocks for this, or you may not. So I will show you what it is and then you can determine. So the feet are wide here. The toes can be have a little bit of a point out. Bless you. The sneezes are going around here, huh?
Sorry.
And then
It's a two.
we'll move the feet back and forth for the hips from side to side. And then the hands will come out to the side. We'll take a nice breath. And on the exhale, we'll bring the hand to the opposite foot. So we want to keep our torso nice and in alignment here. And you also want to check in with that lower back. So you may want to just come down halfway or use your block. And keep that core nice and tight. Pull that belly button in. Really activate things down there. Notice where you feel the stretch. And we'll just do one more time. And back up we come. We'll release those hands down. We'll take a little bit wider step here. Again, toes are a little bit wider than the heels. And again, we'll do that side to side. Notice your posture here. Let that spine be nice and tall. All right, now we'll heel toe those feet together. We'll come to the top of the mat and we'll step that left leg back. So left leg is back. That back foot is parallel with the short end of your mat. Your front toes are forward and your torso is turned toward the long part of your mat. So we'll take a nice inhale and really lengthen the spine, and on the exhale we'll bend that front knee, keeping it over that front ankle. The inhale straightens and the exhale moves in. As we inhale, those hands come to heart space. And on the exhale, hands come to T as the knee bends. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, into T. And one more time. Now this time, as you come into this T position, knee is bent. Let the palms face up, releasing those shoulders. Then palms turn back to the floor. Eyes are gazing over those front fingers. Belly button's pulled in. Both feet are nicely connected to the mat. Breathing here. Noticing where you're feeling sensation. Now as you inhale, palm faces up, reaching up towards the sky. Back hand rests on that back leg. Take a breath here. And on the exhale, that front elbow comes down to that front knee. Back arm sweeps around as it comes up over the ear. Palm faces down. that chest up towards the sky. Breathing here. Inhaling, coming back to that warrior two. Exhaling, hands come down. And we'll turn both toes forward. And we'll heel toe those feet together. And give that all a little shake. Let those shoulders lift and release down. Shake out the legs. And we'll move to the other side. So we'll step that right foot back, left toes are forward. You might have a nice line from that front heel to the arch of that back foot. And we'll inhale here to the lift, and on the exhale we'll bend that front knee. Let your breath guide your motion here. We'll inhale, bring those palms together. Exhale into that warrior position. Let the breath move in through the nose and out through the nose. And then we'll exhale, come into our warrior two. Let the shoulders release. Belly button pulls in towards the spine. Gaze is over those front fingers. Feel yourself really grounded and connected through both feet. The inhale lifts that front palm high. Back hand is on that back leg. And the exhale brings that elbow to the front knee. Back hand sweeps across as it comes up. So the elbow is over the ear. Palm is facing down. You have a nice line from that back foot up the side body, right up through the fingertips. Breathing here, lifting up. And the inhale brings you back to warrior two. The exhale releases the hands. We'll bring those front toes together and we'll heel toe together. Okay, so now we come back to the top of your mat. And once again, we'll step that left foot back. And this time we'll have that left foot be at a 45-degree angle. So that left foot's at a 45-degree angle. The hips are facing forward this time. And we'll take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, bend that front knee. Inhale, exhale, and on the inhale, we'll straighten, and the exhale, we'll move down into the pose, letting our hands be on the hips, at heart space, in a T position, lift up overhead, just being here in the pose, wherever this honors your shoulders. Noticing where you're feeling the sensations. And then as you exhale, the hands release, the front knee straightens. Again, take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, we'll walk down that front leg. The hands can rest on the leg, either above or below the knee or on a block, on blocks. Breathing here, feeling the stretch, feeling the sensation, feeling how it may be in a different area than when we did the lunge. Then the inhale walks those hands back up the leg, and the exhale takes us back into that lunge. And once again, finding wherever the hands want to rest, wherever they want to be. Inhale, straightens that leg. And we step that back leg forward to meet the front. And shake that out. So staying at the top of your mat, just take a moment here. Take a nice inhale, hands come up overhead. Let the palms again come together to rest in front of heart space. Noticing the body here. Noticing side to side, left side to right side to left side. Noticing where there's tension. Noticing where things may be relaxing, releasing. Releasing the hands, we'll step that right foot back. And again, that right foot is at that 45-degree angle. Front toes are forward. Hips are forward. Inhale, we lift. And on the exhale, we bend. Hands can rest on the hips here if you'd like. Your breath again, guys, through here. Trying to keep the shoulders over the hips. The next exhale, we come into that lunge position. Hands on hips, heart space, T position, overhead. Whatever, again, honors those shoulders today. Breathing here. Feeling that back foot connected. Inhale, straightens that front leg. The exhale, walks those hands down. Using the blocks here. And again, just being aware of how the change in the posture may change the sensation, wherever it is. Then tightening that core, take that inhale to walk those hands back up. And on the exhale, bend that front knee. Coming back into your lunge. Breathing here. Being on your mat, being present. Inhale, straightens that leg. Let the toes turn forward. I'll just take that heel toe in. We'll let those legs have a nice little shake. Then we'll step wide on the mat. Toes are pointing towards the corners. We'll take a nice inhale, let the hands come up overhead. And on the exhale, knees bend as elbows bend. Hands in cactus pose, knees bending. That tailbone is pushing right down to the floor. Pull the belly button in. Inhale, knees straighten, hands come up. And here we go. Exhale. Shoulders are relaxed. Tailbones to the floor. Breathing here, feel that inner strength of the body, of your inner strength. Inhale, back up we come, and relax those hands. Now, we'll bring those toes in so that they're both facing forward. Then we'll let the heels be a little bit wider than the toes. We'll take that inhale, let the hands come up. And on the exhale, knees bend. Bend from the hip crease as we come down into that wide-legged forward fold. Again, you can use your blocks here. Let the head and neck relax. chest opens, back is flat. Really stretches the inner, the outer thighs. It's a very calming pose since we're bending forward. Take a nice inhale here. And on the exhale, let the hands walk over to that right foot, keeping the head, neck, and shoulders relaxed. You can walk the block if you'd like. The inhale brings you back to center, and the exhale takes you to the other side. And back, we come to center. Bend those knees, engage the core, and on the inhale, slowly start to roll back up to standing. Hands come up overhead. And the exhale just releases them wide. And we'll heel toe those feet back together. All right, so let's just do a nice little shakeout of everything.
All warmed up.
Shake everything up. All right, so the feet now are right underneath our hips. I'm taking my right foot, crossing my left. And if you want the pull, yeah. Now we're going to really engage the core, bend from the hip creases, and on the exhale, we're going to walk down into that forward fold. Again, you can use the blocks here if you'd like. Just notice where you might feel this. Let the head and neck really relax. Sometimes you might feel this on the outside of our leg, the IT band that from pelvis to shin.
So
Breathe through it. Let anything that wants to release, let it go. And on the inhale, start to walk those hands back up, really keeping that core nice and engaged. Come back to standing. Shoulders release. Release that foot. And just take a moment.
Just a tricky one.
It is. Now I'll take my left, cross over my right, and do the same thing on this side. It might be very different. So we'll take that inhale, engage the core, bend from the hip creases, walk down. And if you want to use your blocks, use your blocks. Might feel very different from side to side. Notice how you feel. Then on the inhale, start to roll back up. Nice and slow. Release that leg. And once again, shake it all out. Okay. Inhale, hands come up overhead. On the exhale, knees bend. Come into that forward fold one more time. Hands are on the mat, hands are on the blocks, your shins, opposite elbows. Head and neck really relaxes here, releases. Maybe the hips move a bit from side to side. Then we'll bring one knee down and then the other as you come back into tabletop. And if you have blocks, I'll have you bring them right up to the top of your mat, so the outside of the top of your mat. Let's just do a cat-cow here. Let's just, once again, open up the heart space, belly button releases towards the floor. Exhale, pulling the belly button in, chin comes to chest. And just move through a couple of these. Now back to a neutral position. Now the squeaking up here really is the stage, it's not me. So sometimes it could be me, but today it's not. And we'll bring that right foot forward. So however it gets there, we'll bring that right foot forward. Now hands can be on your blocks here if you choose. Hands can be on the knee, or hands can come back into that overhead by the ear position. So take a nice inhale here. Let the shoulders relax. Exhale. Now we'll bring the hands down to those blocks. And as you inhale, we'll just walk those blocks back as we come back and extend that front leg. That foot is flexed. So we're not coming all the way down onto that back foot. We're staying upright so the blocks can help. And then we'll just walk those blocks forward as you inhale and walk them back on the exhale.
What a sneaky little lunge this is.
Mm-hmm.
What a sneaky little lunge this is.
That's right. All right, so now we'll release those blocks down. We'll turn this front foot to that 45-degree angle. And you can use the blocks here to rest your hands on if you'd like. You can bring the hands down to the mat. Just find your position. And then we'll inhale and bring that right hand to the right knee or the knee that's bent. And we'll just do a little bit of a twist here. And release this back down. We'll release that foot back. Hands come a little bit forward on the mat, toes tuck, and we'll lift up into a downward facing dog. Just walking those feet out, keeping those knuckles really connected to the mat. And then exhale, those knees come back to the mat, back to tabletop. And we'll bring that left foot forward. And again, hands can be on the blocks at whatever height works for you. Hands can be on the knees, or hands can be extended overhead. Breathing here, taking some nice breaths. Then we'll take those blocks and we'll start that little walk again. Walking them back. As that front foot flexes, knee straightens. Walking forward, coming back into that lunge. And back. Just following your breath here. And one more time. And when we're forward again, we'll bring that front foot to that 45-degree angle. And coming down either onto your blocks, onto the mat. Feeling that stretch wherever it may be. Then we'll bring that left hand to that left knee and turn towards that bent knee. Release this down. We'll bring that foot back in, release it back. Hands come a little bit forward on the mat, toes tuck, And on the inhale, press those sits bones right up to the sky. Pull that belly button in, and pedal those feet. The exhale brings the knees, the chest, and the chin, cheek, or forehead all the way down to the mat. Oh, take a nice breath here. Nice full inhale and exhale. Now with your inhale, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms come to meet the mat. As that heart space lifts, feet are long on the mat, legs are long. Coming up into this nice little back bend. Your eyes, your gaze is gently forward. And look over that left shoulder. Look over the right shoulder. The exhale brings the chin, cheek, and forehead back down to the mat. The knees bend and let the feet sway from side to side. Feet return to the mat, legs are long, elbows come back under the shoulders as we come back into that back bend. Now, hands can stay right here, you can be on the shoulders, or hands can come out towards the side of the mat and the elbows can straighten. So just notice what's in your practice this morning. Being very mindful of what is going on in your body and listening to it. The exhale brings you back all the way down to your mat. And take a nice inhale, full deep inhale, and a long, slow exhale out. Hands come back to the shoulders. And as you inhale, come back into either tabletop position or come back to that downward facing dog. Then we'll release the knees back to the mat. And we'll come over into a seated position. Let's come into that little side straddle. Sitting up on a blanket or a block if you'd like. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. Just let the knees have a little flutter here. Again, getting into those hips. We'll release that motion. Take a nice inhale to lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, let that heart space come forward wherever that is. Hands are resting wherever they want to be today. Thighs here, stretching the thighs, the inner and outer thighs, spine. The inhale, the hands walk up to the knees come together as the legs extend forward. Now as we go to the forward fold, remember that if hamstrings are super tight, knees can be bent and the soles of the feet can remain on the floor, or blocks can be placed just under the legs as we move into the forward fold. So take a nice inhale here, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, let the torso come forward as one, so that heart space leads you forward. And wherever that is today, just let the hands rest. Hamstrings, your lower back. Just notice where you might be feeling it. On the inhale, we'll walk this back up to center. We'll bend those knees. Feet come back flat on the floor. We'll really engage the core here. And as we do, let's take a nice little trip down to the mat. So engage the core. Let that vertebrae one at a time. Down we come all the way until the head and the neck are resting comfortably. Knees bend. Pull the knees in with the chest. Giving them a nice hug. A little side to side. All right, let's bring the soles of the feet back to the floor, knees stay bent. And we'll walk those heels back towards the hips. Palms are on the mat by the hips. And as you inhale, lift the hips, pushing up through the soles of the feet. Knees stay parallel here. And the exhale, rolling back down to the mat. So we'll inhale, push up through the feet, lifting the hips here. The weight is on your shoulders. And as you exhale, rolling back down to the mat. And one more time, we'll inhale, lift, lift, lift. You have a choice on the exhale. You can roll back down to the mat or stay here for a breath. Inhaling one more time. And on the exhale, let's all roll down to the mat. And let the knees move from side to side. With knees back to center, we'll bring that right ankle up over that left leg, that left upper leg. We'll keep that right foot nicely flexed. And you can stay right here in this pose, or lift that left leg, threading the fingers either behind or in front of the knee. And keeping the head and neck nicely connected. If the head and neck come up, you can put that foot back to the mat, or you can use a strap around the knee. The exhale releases that foot back down, releases the right foot back to the mat, and brings that left ankle up over the right knee. And then finding the pose on this side. Letting the breath continue to come in deep on the inhale and exit long and slow on the exhale. knees move from side to side. Now bring the knees back into the chest, and the left leg extends long. Now the left leg can stay long, or the left knee can be bent with the sole foot on the floor. And with that right knee in, we'll let the right sole of the foot come up towards the ceiling. You can grab onto the calf, to your pant leg, to the big toe, to the outside of that foot. So it's like a half happy baby pose. Just breathing into this. And then we'll release that right foot down, so that right foot is on the mat. We'll bend the left knee. Extend the right leg long if you'd like, pulling that left knee into the chest. The sole of that left foot comes parallel to the ceiling, and then grabbing onto the pant leg, your ankle, your foot, whatever that is. Breathing here. And release that foot down. We'll pull both those knees back into the chest. Release both feet onto the floor. Knees still are bent. Now let the soles of the feet come together as the knees extend wide on the mat. Now you can support the upper legs here with your hands, with blocks. You can use your fists right where your hips and legs connect to support the pose. Or maybe this is one of your favorites. Just breathing here. I'm going to pull those knees back together. Knees come back into the chest. And on the exhale, let the knees come over to the left, rolling onto that left hip. As the right shoulder releases back to the mat. Now you can support those knees in any way you'd like with your hand with the block. And letting your gaze either be over that right shoulder, it can be right towards the sky, or it can be towards the knees. The inhale brings the knees back to center. And then a nice little hug again. And the exhale, rolling over to that right hip, knees come to the right as the left shoulder releases down. Inhale brings you back to center. Knees come back in towards the chest. And extending one leg long on the mat, and then the other. The inhale brings the hands overhead. Exhaling here, take a nice inhale, and an exhale as the fingers reach in one direction. Toes in the other for a nice full body stretch. And the exhale releases the hands back towards the side. And just check in if there's any other bend or stretch or twist that your body would like to experience before preparing for your relaxation pose. And then notice if there's any prop your relaxation pose is asking for. Do you want to bolster under your knees?
Yes, please.
Yeah, bolster under the knees can be really relaxing for that lower back. You can have a blanket. Here, I can help you behind.
Thank you.
Just take a nice, deep, full inhale. Suspend that breath for 1, 2, and then exhale fully and completely. And take another nice inhale, letting the breath permeate the entire body. And on the exhale, let everything go. Let the body melt into the mat. Let the jaw relax. Let the breath release. And let the mind, maybe let the mind wander to a place it loves to be. opening to receive the next inhale. And releasing that exhale. Letting the next breath in, breathe awareness down into the toes and into the fingers. Letting some gentle movement happen there. Letting the breath breathe in awareness into the entire body as you feel yourself supported and connected to your mat. Maybe the head moves gently from side to side. The knees start to move in toward the chest. As you pull one knee in, then the other, giving it a nice hug. Maybe the knees move from side to side. And in your own time, rolling all the way to one side and just taking a pause here. Sending some gratitude to yourself for being in your practice this morning, for being here on your mat. And I just want to leave you with this thought. 2 things to remember in life. Take care of your thoughts when you are alone, and take care of your words when you are with others. And when you're ready, you can push yourself back to an upright seated position. And if it's comfortable, bringing palms together, front of heart space, thumbs to sternum. The love, the light, the radiance that lives in me recognizes, honors, and is so grateful for the love, the light, the radiance that shines from you. Thank you for your gift of presence this morning. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I
Yes.
really appreciate the energy in this room. You guys are great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
I almost forgot that everyone else was in the room. So.
While you were on your mat, right?
Yeah.
I really appreciate that little sneaky lunge because it goes right to the psoas. I have other exercises that are very uncomfortable, and that's really, really nice. It just eases it
Oh, good.
right up. Very good. Thank you. They're the tightest. They're just like, they lock up and I can't even twist. So
Yeah.
it's very good. Very good.
Yeah, we're getting back outside and doing things again, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, I feel that.